Few housekeeping items. This meeting is going to be recorded and we're going to be posting it on the website for the project, which we'll mention later in the presentation. So if you have any neighbors or friends that would like to learn more about this project, you can direct them there to view the recording. And then also, we're hoping to save the question and answer session till the end of the presentation. There's a Q&A box on the right-hand side of the page. Anytime during the meeting, you're welcome to put a question in the box. And at the end of the presentation, we'll address those questions. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce our Deputy Director, Jackie Gerald. Go ahead, Jackie.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Gerald, and I'm a Deputy Director with Charlotte Water. And I just want to welcome you to the Skybrook near Charlotte Water, that we're very communicative with our customers, and that we let you know about some of the great improvements that we're making. At Charlotte, and please know that this information is being recorded, and so you'll be able to view this at another time. But if you have questions tonight,
Okay, it looks like we may have. Thank you, Jackie. I'm going to go ahead and pass the presentation to Jennifer Frost.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Frost. I'm the Public Affairs Manager here at Charlotte Water, and I'm so glad to be talking with you this evening about this project. Our agenda, some of the things that we're going to cover tonight, we just got our welcome from Jackie Gerald, our Deputy Director representing the leadership here at Charlotte Water. And I want to introduce you to the people who make up this team from across Charlotte Water to handle this project. It's a pretty complex project, and so we've got a large team from Charlotte Water working on it. And then we'll go through the project overview and just kind of tell you a little bit about what we're going to do, talk a little bit about the details and timeline, and then what you can expect as we move through this project through to completion. So with me tonight, I've got Marion Sanders and William Lee and Chris Fort and Delman Cummings from our field operations group. This is the division within Charlotte Water that handles the operations of our collection and distribution systems. With us tonight, we have Kristen Solberg from our customer service group. This division handles all of our customer service needs, as well as billing and generating those work orders. We have representing water treatment, Rosie Pindilly, and we also have John Huber with us tonight, who they oversee all of the treatment facilities treating our water to be distributed to our customers. And then we also have a large engineering division, and so representing engineering tonight is Marcus King, Bhavna Swayampakala, and Alan Gaines. And I've also, you've met Katie, who introduced at the beginning, and then I'm Jennifer from our Public Affairs division. So let's talk a little bit about why we're gathered here tonight. The project overview. When Skybrook North was constructed many years ago, there was really no way for, we knew that we needed to connect you to Charlotte Water. We knew you were going to be Charlotte Water customers. But unfortunately, at that time, the development, the infrastructure wasn't close enough to Skybrook North at that time. But the Concord water system was not far away. So what we did is we worked it out with the city of Concord so that the Skybrook North could be developed along with the developer schedule to be connected to the city of Concord Water and be a customer of Charlotte Water. This way, you'd have water services but not be held up, the construction wouldn't be held up waiting for our infrastructure to get close enough. So since that time, customers have been receiving a Charlotte Water billing statement, but actually receiving the water that the City of Concord provides to their customers. However, in the last year, we have completed a water main project that is been installed in the nearby area, and now that is allowing us to deliver Charlotte water to the Skybrook North neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods. And so why we're talking tonight is it's time to make that transition. We had planned all along that you would eventually be receiving Charlotte water from us, and now we're ready to make that switch over. What you see here is a project map of the area. If you can see along with my cursor, Skybrook North area here is on the south end or the bottom end of this map. This is Huntersville Concord Road. This is the Oaks at Skybrook North, the Oaks at Skybrook, the neighborhood that is under construction right now. And then this line here at the very top of the page is our new water main that's moving down Poplar Tent Church Road. And what that will do is through the connections of the Oaks at Skybrook, it'll provide a connection to Skybrook North neighborhood, and we'll be able to provide drinking water. What's also important to note about this map is that the customers that will be receiving Charlotte water are those that are living in Mecklenburg County. And now the county line actually moves through part of Skybrook North neighborhood. And so those customers that are in the Mecklenburg County portion will be receiving Charlotte water when we do the switch over. And those that are on the eastern border of the county line in Cabarrus County, those residents will be actually continuing on with City of Concord water. So when we do the switch over, what are some of the things that you can expect? Well, to date, what we've done is we've provided a mailer that kind of explained and went over the project details, but also within that mailer was your consumer confidence report. This is an annual report that is required by the state and federal regulators that Charlotte Water provides. We make a special one for the Skybrook North neighborhood because you are Charlotte Water customers, but you are receiving water that's treated by the City of Concord. So you've received that special CCR. You also received one last year, if you may recall. But we've also started working in the neighborhood to get ready for this switchover. Our field operations crews have been working and planning. They're going to do some installation of things like hydrants and water stations and valves so that we're ready to go when we're ready to switch. So you'll be seeing that work. That work will only take place during the day, so don't worry, it won't happen too early or too late. But what you might see as our crews are working in the neighborhood is you'll certainly see Charlotte Water vehicles and equipment. You may see some construction, which also will mean that there may be some asphalt patching that comes up when we have to disturb the road to do some of the work we're going to do. You may often see hydrants flushing. It looks like we just opened up the cap, and it may even be that we're not there and not monitoring it, but I promise you we will come back to cap that. But when you see hydrant flushing, what we're trying to do is move fresh water into that system and keep the water moving after doing some of the work that we've got to do on the system. The other thing you may notice, by law, we're required to locate any of the underground utilities in the right-of-way where we might be digging. And so we'll call ahead to 811 and make sure that other utilities like power, gas, cable, electric, we'll make sure that they're all located before we do our digging so that we can avoid any conflict of utilities and making sure that we don't cut through others unnecessarily. So you'll notice all those activities going on. Here are a couple of pictures of things you might see. On the left-hand side, you'll see the crew, and they're running the hydrant. They're flushing it. Sometimes there'll be a crew there. Sometimes it may just be the hydrant flushing on its own without anybody monitoring it right there. But I do promise you that someone will be back to make sure that that's turned off. There's probably someone coming back through and checking on it from time to time as well. We will be installing more hydrants These are a point of contact not only for the local fire department, but it also helps us do some maintenance on the system from time to time. So we're going to install a few more of those hydrants. And then you may also see some water quality monitoring stations. Since we're going to be monitoring the Charlotte water that you're receiving, these are little green boxes that you see in the right-of-way. They're not nearly as frequent as the hydrants, but you may see them in specific strategic locations. This allows our laboratory staff to come from time to time and take samples of the water that you are receiving. So when is this going to happen? Actually, some of the field work has already started. We started just this week. We did some evaluation of the home configuration and the plumbing configuration this week. Our field crews are have plans underway to start putting in valves, hydrants, those water quality monitoring stations that I was talking about. But what we're hoping to do is make the official transition later on this summer. We're excited about being able to provide Charlotte water to you this year, and so we think that we'll be prepared and get all of our field work completed so that by the end of this summer, we'll make that switch over. Some questions you may have. So talking through the project boundaries. Like I mentioned earlier, this switchover is only going to occur in Mecklenburg County. Our boundaries are Mecklenburg County. City of Concord's boundary is at the Cabarrus County line. So only the customers that are within Mecklenburg County are actually going to be the switchover. But that's the majority of Skybrook North. You may wonder if there's an interruption of water service. We anticipate that from time to time there may be some very, very brief interruptions of service, but when that happens, we'll be sure to notify you in advance. It'll either be through a door hanger, through a crew maybe knocking on the door, or if we have enough time and it's planned well enough in advance, we might even be able to provide a mailer that comes to you. If an unplanned interruption occurs, we're considering that an emergency, and repairs will be made and we'll be able to restore service just as quickly as possible. We would not leave you without water for a prolonged period of time unless it was an absolute emergency, which means that we're working on it as quickly as we can. You may wonder if there's a change in water quality. If we're moving from the city of Concord, which has had great water quality over the years, and then we're going to be providing you with Charlotte water, is there going to be a change? Well, I'm really proud to say that Charlotte water has fantastic water quality. We've had no violations. The water quality report coming out this year explains that we have no water quality violations. So we don't think that there'll be any significant noticeable change in water quality when you move from City of Concord to Charlotte water. If you're interested in seeing the Charlotte water drinking water quality, we put all of our monitoring data on our website, and you can also see previous year's water quality reports. Will the water pressure increase? We do anticipate a pressure increase when the switchover occurs. And right now we're working through with our modelers and our engineering department, or our field crews and other customer service staff are out in the field. And what we're trying to do is gather as much information as we can to figure out how we're going to handle that water pressure increase. When we have a plan for what we're going to do with the increase, we will communicate that with the neighborhood so that you're prepared for everything that might happen at every stage along the way. You might also ask, what is the price of the water service going to change? And no, from a month-to-month standpoint, you won't even know there's a difference. The bill will be the same that you've already been paying. The price and services that you receive, those are all going to be the same. You've been a Charlotte Water customer, and you will continue to be a Charlotte Water customer. And then why now? Well, the truth is that, like I said earlier, we have been planning for this project all along. We appreciate your patience. What we wanted to do was get the Skybrook North development underway as the developer and contractor was planning the neighborhood, the construction of the neighborhood. And the easiest way to make that happen at that time was to connect with the City of Concord. But now that Charlotte Water we've been able to budget and construct this water main that's coming up Poplar Tent Church Road now we're ready to make that connection. And so this was our plan all along, and that project just recently completed, and so it's time. So what's going to happen next? We're going to continue to do the field work that I mentioned earlier. We're going to be coordinating with state regulators. We don't make switchovers like this every day. We don't do it without a lot of planning, a lot of consultation from experts, including our state regulators. So we'll be doing that. We're also going to continue to communicate with you. We have a website that you can visit at any time. You'll be receiving mailers from us. You may be receiving door hangers from us. If you see crews out in the street, please feel free to stop and ask and talk with them. They'll be happy to share with you what they're doing. And then this large group that we've assembled here tonight with all the divisions from Charlotte Water, we are actively planning for those switchover logistics. And the day of and week of, we'll make sure that we have lots of Charlotte Water staff on hand so that if anything comes up, we'll already be prepared. There'll be lots of people monitoring all aspects of the switchover. And then we'll also be there if you have any questions as it's happening. Like I mentioned, we already have a project website. You can reach it at bit.ly/Skybrook Water Main. We will continue to use Nextdoor, mailers, door hangers. I'm also interested in doing an email distribution list. So if anytime you have any questions, you can email me. It's jennifer.frost@charlottenc.gov. But I'd also, if you'd love to receive emails periodically about how we're doing with the project, please just reach out to me and we'll put you on that distribution list so that you can get those updates promptly. This is my contact information. If you have any questions at all, anytime, please give me an email or a call. If you don't get me, please leave a voicemail. If I can't answer it, someone on our team will most definitely get in touch with you and we'll get your questions answered. We want you to feel comfortable with the project as we're going forward. Please know that there's a lot of planning going on underway at Charlotte Water to make this project as pain-free and seamless to the Skybrook North neighborhood. And with that, we can take any questions. Katie, do we have any questions from the audience?
Looks like at this time, we don't have any questions. We can wait a minute or so. Again, just as a reminder, this will be posted on our website, and Jennifer is available for questions at any time.
Katie, do you mind putting my contact information back up on the screen? And then that way, if anybody wants to jot down the number or email, it's available.
Okay, I think there aren't any other questions. We'll go ahead and end this meeting for this evening. We appreciate your time and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.